Today, we're throwing you a coming out party!
Yay!
Yay!
You got the news! Hey everyone, I'm Chris.
I'm Clay.
And you're watching the Chris and Clay vlog.
Yeah.
So next week is National Coming Out Day, so we wanted to talk about some tips for coming out. Because a lot of you have reached out to us via our PO box or on DMs on Instagram and TikTok, or even comments on YouTube and asking for us to talk about some advice about coming out.
Coming out can be a different experience for everybody going through that. And if you haven't watched our coming out vlog, you can do that somewhere up there.
We'll also put it in the description box below in case you don't know how to click on the pop-ups. Or if you're watching us on an Apple TV or something and you can't see the pop-ups. We learned that this week.
It'll be somewhere.
When it comes time for you to share your sexual identity with others, the first and most important thing across the board is to make sure that you're safe. Not every person on the globe is in a safe environment for them to come out and be loved and accepted. You may have a variety of different things happen when you come out and reactions, given towards you. And the most important thing is that you're safe. So you want to make sure that you have assessed the situation to see if the people you're coming out to will be accepting of you, especially your parents, as well as having a backup plan, a place to spend the night with a friend who supports you or an aunt or an uncle who support you. Your safety is so important. We can't stress that enough. And this crazy world is crazy enough as it is, and you just need to look out for yourself and know that coming out is very, very important, but please don't do so unless you're safe.
And if you don't feel like you are in a safe enough environment to come out, just wait. Don't do it yet. It doesn't mean that you're being fake or not being yourself. You can be yourself even if other people don't know every detail about your life. You'll know in your heart when it's the right time to come out.
I feel like some people identify really quickly and want to share quickly, which is awesome. Some people go on long journeys like some other people in the world, and there's years of contemplating your feelings and all that. You can watch the coming out video for the full story. And some people will think they have you figured out and they'll try to pressure you to come out, that pressure is a lot and can be overwhelming. I remember in college, certain people would send me messages on Facebook and say, I think you're gay, you seem to come out, well, I'll love you. And it was hurtful because I wasn't ready to deal with that part of myself yet, and them pressuring me, whether they thought they were helping or not, maybe just instigating drama, who knows. That pressure didn't help me, and only I could decide when it was the right time for me to come out. And of course, there are situations where people are outed, and that's never a fun situation. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but when it comes to you sharing who you are, only you know when it's a perfect time.
And there are a million different ways to come out. Maybe not a million, but there are a lot of different ways to come out.
One is being a balloon party, a coming out balloon party, which may not be as popular, so here are some other ways you might consider doing so.
So Chris came out to his parents he wrote them a letter. I came out to my parents, I came out to my sister first, and then I came out to my mom and my dad.
I don't think I knew you came out to your sister first.
Yeah.
Maybe I did. I can't remember. Go on.
I feel like I did say that at one point. Anyways, for me, I wanted to come out to my sister first because I wanted it to kind of be like, quote unquote, like a practice round of I know she loves me, and again, my family was very accepting, and I knew they were going to react the way they did when they were like, we know, it's okay. You wrote a letter.
Yeah. I think considering which method you're going to do is important. You can say maybe these people in my life will take it better if I tell them personally, face to face, via FaceTime or maybe in person. Also is sending an email or a letter like I did the best way to go. Who knows? It's up to you. You also may find it's best to just slide into a conversation like, hey, I'm going to bring home my boyfriend from college and I want him to meet you all. Or the person I'm dating is non-binary and hey, so am I. You may find that's the best way for people you're coming out to receive that information. And like you said, doing a practice round I think is a great way to do it. Coming out is never a practice round, but I fully know what you mean about coming out to your sister first, probably because you knew they'd be more accepting,
I wanted to figure out how to say it, what words to use, and so I came out to my sister, then I came out to both my parents.
And I came out to my best friend, Ron, back home in Oklahoma. He was living in New York at the time, and we were visiting from our West Side Story tour. Gosh, this is 10 years ago. And I came out to him, and he was the first person I told about it. And we grew up with similar backgrounds and belief systems, etc. And so I saw how that went over, and thankfully he was loving and accepting and wonderful. Telling Ron first and having that go well, and you telling your sister, and that going well gives you strength moving forward to tell your parents or whoever's next on your list, Now, obviously, you coming out can be a lot for certain people to take in, so I'm going to give you some advice. Brene Brown says, "Clear is kind," and it's a phrase I use all the time. And just being clear about where you are in your journey. You could say, like I did, I was like, I'm gay, I'm a gay man, I've had these feelings for years, and I'm letting you know that I'm a gay man, and that's how it is. You can also be somewhere on your journey that's not at the definitive answer with a label. Maybe you're not sure where you are. Maybe you want to share the part of yourself that knows that you're queer, and that's it for now. You don't know where on the spectrum, that you land, and that's okay. But being clear about where you are helps other people wrap their mind around it, wrap their brain around it a little bit. I think being really clear about where you're at in your journey is important, and also is just helpful.
Another thing that can be helpful is sharing with the person that you're coming out to why you're coming out. So telling them, I'm coming out because I love you and I want you to know this part of myself that I know. Let them know why it means so much for you to be telling them. Like, why are they important enough to know this information?
Yeah, like when I came out to my parents, I said, I'm so happy with Clay and I want to share this happiness that I'm experiencing. That was not crying, that was a burp. It was very beautiful. But I told them I wanted to share this part of myself, this joy and this happiness that I'm experiencing for the first time in my life. I'm thrilled and I feel like a new, better, and more improved person because of this love. And I have to be honest with you about it. I want to share it with you. And I think that's a great example of saying why you're coming out. It helps them also feel valued, hopefully, too. We're laughing because we keep getting tongue-tied right here. Go for it. Try to say this answer without getting tongue-tied.
People might also react differently to you coming out than you thought they would react.
Yeah.
I did it. I got through it. Good Lord above.
I think accepting that people may have different reactions than you expect, or maybe you hope for. A lot of people don't receive the reactions that we need and feel encouraged by and feel uplifted by whenever we come out, right, as a queer person. We watched some shows recently where kids came out to their parents and teenagers came out to their parents, and the parents were so overjoyed and excited that their kids shared like this exciting part of them with their parents. It was lovely, and we both cried watching it. But a lot of people don't have that experience. I didn't have that experience, and you have to prepare yourself that you may not be fully accepted for who you are at first. And that's another thing. People's hearts can grow over time, and their acceptance can shift over time. Their eyes can be open, and that's one thing that we hope to do by posting on social media, making these vlogs, is just showing the world that it's possible for two people to love each other, be in a happy relationship, have a family, have a life together, and maybe happen to be both the same gender, or maybe just in a queer relationship in general. So don't be completely discouraged if maybe the reactions aren't great right away, because over time, things can change.
You've said in the past that it took you years to figure out yourself and your journey with coming out. So giving the people you come out to time to, not that you need to give them years, hopefully that doesn't take years, but giving them a little bit of time to process that information that was so hard for you to discover, and it may have, again, if it may change over time, giving them time to process that is also very important.
I think so too.
Next, be specific with the people that you're coming out to about who you want them to tell and versus who you want to tell yourself.
Yeah, my parents ended up telling my siblings because I didn't say, please don't tell my siblings, I want to tell them myself. And that's something I'll never get to experience. Who knows how it would have gone, maybe a little better than when I told my parents, but I'm never going to have that experience, and I also don't get to control the narrative of how that information is communicated. It can be painted in another light if someone else passes on the information. Who knows, you may just want to say, hey world, I'm gay, or hey, I'm queer, or whatever you are, but also know that when the information's out there, people continue to talk, and if you want to really care about specific relationships in your life and tell those people yourself, be really specific. If you come out to your parents, say, please don't tell grandma and grandpa, I want to tell them myself, or whoever those people may be in your life. It's a flying piece of hair. Go away, we're talking about coming out to your parents and family and friends. Another piece of advice I have is to give your parents some educational material. A lot of people think they have their minds made up about what something is. They decide, oh, I know what gay people are, I saw Will and Grace. And that's awesome that Will and Grace was a show that was out there for a lot of people to see and to identify, okay, gay people exist and have feelings. Huge, right? But at one point that was groundbreaking. But there's so many more different types of queer people than just Jack on Will and Grace. To give your parents or your friends or whoever you're coming out to other references and things to look at, whether it's an article to share, a TV show with characters that are like you, whatever it is that will help inform these people you're coming out to and help educate them about life beyond their really narrow view of the queer community is something that can be extremely beneficial and also help the growth start quicker and get the ball rolling, if you will.
At the end of the day, the most important part of all of this is to love yourself.
Yes.
However you identify, whatever your preferences are, just love yourself. Because even if it might not be accepted by the people that you tell at first, or second or third, it's most important, just love yourself and treat yourself with kindness.
Please love yourself and know that your value does not depend on how people respond to you telling them the news or sharing this part of you. And this is Clay, and I'm Chris, and we have your back. We are throwing you a coming out party whenever the time is right. We support you, we love you just as you are. You are an amazing human, and I hope you love all of these balloons that took us forever to balance on the back. But know that you are loved and valuable just the way you are, and whenever it's the right time, we support you in your coming out journey, and we hope it goes smoothly, and we are sending you all the good, healthy, and safe vibes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow us on social media and let us know that you saw this video.
In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and go make this world a better place, whether you're in the rainbow or supportive of the rainbow.
Yeah.
We love you all. Have a good one.
Whether you're gay or bi or trans, because baby, you were born this way. Me and Rose have a song. Great. Bye.